at 12:30, more than 4 years after the death of a Lancaster boy, his mother and her boyfriend are on trial for his murder. Prosecutors say Anthony Avalos suffered neglect and torture for years before his death, and today they will present their case.
KTLA 5's Corrine Winter live now outside the courthouse in downtown LA with more. Corrine?
And Glenn, the burden here in this trial is, of course, on the prosecution. They have to prove that this was premeditated murder and that the defendants in this case acted with malice. This, of course, involves the death of 10-year-old Anthony Avalos back in 2018. Now, in opening statements this morning, the prosecutors are beginning to chip away at their arguments. They called their first witness one of Anthony's aunts. She took the stand and testified. Now, Anthony's mother is on trial, also her boyfriend, Heather Barron and Kareem Leyva. They allegedly tortured the little boy for years, beating him, neglecting him by denying him food and proper medical treatment for his injuries because they thought he was gay. Again, that's according to prosecutors. Anthony died from blunt force trauma after Leyva allegedly repeatedly dropped him on his head. The child was under the supervision of social workers for years. They initiated numerous investigations, but Anthony was still allowed to remain with his mother. Prosecutors are expected to use testimony from those who allegedly witnessed this abuse or saw the injuries that Anthony sustained. A lot of the evidence also includes graphic pictures of the child's injuries. Now, both defendants, they were charged with first-degree murder. They've pleaded not guilty. Their defense team will try to show Anthony's death was an accident. Here's more from Brian Claypool. He represented Anthony's family in their civil case where the county settled with them for more than $30 million.
It's been a long journey for this family. How are they feeling the start of this high-profile trial?
The family has been carrying a 1,000-pound weight on their back ever since Anthony was murdered. They have waited years for this criminal trial. The aunt and uncle especially will be there every day. They have a big sense of relief that the criminal justice system's finally beginning, and they are praying that in the end, the mother and the boyfriend receive a guilty verdict and life in prison without the possibility of parole, so that they can never do this again to another child.
And I mentioned at the top that opening statements began this morning in this trial. Well, the judge blocked all live streaming in the courtroom, but did allow a pool feed. So that's what you're seeing right now. This is not live. This is a proceeding from earlier this morning. Again, the prosecution beginning to outline their argument in this case. They have the burden of proving that this was premeditated murder and that the defendants acted with malice. Both defendants pleaded not guilty in this trial. They face the possibility life in prison without the possibility of parole if convicted. And right now at this early stage, it's unclear if they'll be taking the stand. That's the very latest here in downtown Los Angeles. Corrine Winter, KTLA 5 News.